Welcome to Trending Now USA. I am Bella, and today we bring you a story that goes beyond scorelines, brackets, and trophies. A story that lives in the space where grit meets grace, where effort matters as much as outcome, and where a young athlete continues to redefine what it means to earn respect on the global stage. Win or lose, Alex Eala is more than deserving of her flowers, not just for what she has achieved, but for how she has carried herself through every high and low of a demanding professional journey. Alex Eala's name has become increasingly familiar in international tennis conversations, but familiarity should never dull appreciation. Her rise has not been loud in the traditional sense of overnight superstardom. Instead, it has been built brick by brick, match by match, through discipline, sacrifice, and an unwavering commitment to improvement. In a sport that often celebrates instant success and sensational breakthroughs, Eala's path reminds us that real growth is sometimes quiet, sometimes painful, but always meaningful. From the moment she stepped onto the international junior circuit, Alex Eala carried expectations that went far beyond her age. Representing the Philippines in a sport historically dominated by players from Europe, North America, and parts of South America, she was not just playing for herself. She was carrying a flag, a set of dreams, and the hopes of countless young athletes who finally saw someone who looked like them competing on the same courts as the world's best. That kind of responsibility can crush a young player, but Eala chose to let it shape her instead. Her junior success was undeniable, marked by Grand Slam titles and consistent performances that signaled she was more than a promising talent. Yet anyone who understands tennis knows the brutal truth. Junior success guarantees nothing in the professional ranks. The transition is one of the hardest in sports, where former champions suddenly face opponents stronger, faster, more experienced, and unforgiving. It is here, in this difficult middle ground, that Alex Eala's character truly began to shine. Early professional matches tested her resolve. Losses came, sometimes in tight three-set battles, sometimes in matches where momentum slipped away at the worst possible moments. For many young players, these moments lead to frustration, visible anger, or even a loss of belief. Eala, however, showed something different. She showed composure. She showed patience. She showed an understanding that progress is rarely linear. What makes Alex Eala deserving of her flowers is not simply her wins, but her response to defeat. In press interactions and on-court interviews, she has consistently displayed maturity beyond her years. She speaks with honesty about areas she needs to improve, never hiding behind excuses. She acknowledges her opponent's strengths and gives credit where it is due. This mindset is the mark of a true professional, one who understands that tennis is not just about beating others, but about mastering oneself. Her playing style reflects this mentality. Eala is not reckless. She builds points thoughtfully, uses angles intelligently, and demonstrates a willingness to grind when necessary. In an era where power often dominates headlines, her game is a reminder that intelligence, anticipation, and adaptability still matter. She fights for every point, whether she is serving for the match or trying to claw her way back from a deficit. That fight, that refusal to surrender, is something fans recognize instantly. Off the court, Alex Eala carries herself with humility and purpose. Despite increasing media attention and growing expectations, she remains grounded. She speaks openly about her gratitude for her family, her coaches, and her support system. She recognizes the privilege of being able to compete at the highest level and does not take that opportunity lightly. This sense of perspective is rare, especially in a world that constantly pressures young athletes to measure their worth by rankings and titles. Eala's journey also highlights the importance of representation in sports. For young Filipino athletes, seeing her compete on global stages is more than inspirational, it is transformative. It sends a powerful message that talent knows no borders and that dedication can bridge gaps once thought impossible. Her presence challenges outdated narratives about who belongs in elite tennis and who does not. The critics, as they always do, have questioned her progress at various points. Some have focused on results, others on rankings, and a few on timelines, comparing her development to players from entirely different backgrounds and circumstances. What these critiques often miss is context. They miss the reality of adapting to new environments, new pressures, and new levels of competition. They miss the human side of growth. Alex Eala's development is not a race against anyone else. It is a personal journey shaped by learning, resilience, and incremental improvement. Each match adds another layer of experience. Each setback strengthens her understanding of what it takes to succeed. In this sense, even losses become valuable. They are lessons, not failures. Her work ethic is evident to those who watch closely. Training sessions are intense. Fitness routines are demanding. Tactical discussions are detailed. There is no shortcut being taken here, no reliance on past achievements. Eala is building a foundation designed to last, not to flash briefly and fade away. It is also worth noting the mental strength required to compete consistently at this level. Tennis is a lonely sport. There are no teammates to hide behind, no substitutions to offer relief. Every mistake is personal. Every triumph is earned alone. Alex Eala has embraced this reality with courage. She stands on the court knowing that whatever happens, she alone will face it. As she continues to navigate the professional tour, moments of brilliance have already begun to shine through. Wins against higher-ranked opponents, strong performances in key tournaments, and visible improvements in her game all point to a player moving in the right direction. These moments are not accidents. They are the result of preparation meeting opportunity. But even on days when the scoreboard does not reflect her effort, Eala leaves an impression. She leaves with respect from opponents, admiration from fans, and the quiet knowledge that she gave her best. That, in itself, is worthy of recognition. In a sports culture often obsessed with immediate results, Alex Eala's story invites us to slow down and appreciate the process. It reminds us that greatness is not always loud, not always instant, and not always defined by a single moment. Sometimes, it is defined by consistency, integrity, and perseverance. Her journey also speaks to the broader conversation about how we measure success. Is it only about trophies, or is it also about growth? Is it only about winning, or is it also about how you compete? In Alex Eala, we see an athlete who values the journey as much as the destination, who understands that lasting success is built over time. Fans who follow her career closely know that she is still evolving. There are aspects of her game that will continue to improve, strategies that will become sharper, and confidence that will deepen with experience. This is not a finished product, it is a work in progress. And that is precisely what makes her story compelling. Her resilience has become one of her defining traits. When faced with adversity, she does not retreat. She reflects, adjusts, and returns stronger. This ability to learn from challenges is what separates those who plateau from those who rise. Eala has consistently shown that she belongs in the latter category. As the tennis world continues to watch her journey unfold, one thing becomes increasingly clear. Alex Eala is not chasing validation. She is chasing excellence. She is committed to her craft, respectful of the sport, and appreciative of the opportunity to compete. That mindset will serve her well, regardless of how any single match ends. Win or lose, Alex Eala deserves recognition for her courage, her discipline, and her unwavering belief in herself. She deserves her flowers not as a consolation, but as an acknowledgement of her impact, her effort, and her promise. She has already inspired many, and her story is far from finished. At Trending Now USA, we celebrate athletes who represent more than just results, who embody the values of perseverance, humility, and passion. Alex Eala stands firmly in that category. Her journey reminds us that success is not always measured in titles alone, but in the respect earned along the way. As she continues to step onto courts around the world, carrying her dreams and the hopes of many, one truth remains undeniable. Win or lose, Alex Eala has already proven that she belongs, that she matters, and that her flowers are well-deserved.